Okay, today is Saturday, September 20th, 2008, and I guess it's the second day of Twins' life. We get the bands. The mother's mother gives us her band so that I can have that, so Matt and I can go into the neonatal ICU, because they don't just let anybody come in. You have to have the band and ID, copies of ID and stuff like that on file there. So Matt and I go in to see the babies, and at this point, I'm like kind of bracing myself because there was so much medical difficulty in the delivery with the first twin, and second twin did a lot better, but needed some surfactant or something like that for her lungs to help her lungs open up so she could breathe better. So I'm really worried about what they're going to look like and all this stuff. But we go in and they look great. They're small, but they look really healthy, nice coloring. They're moving their arms around and kind of not quite opening their eyes yet, kind of peeking out of their eyes, and they just look really healthy. And so I think that the doctors and nurses in the NICU really did a great job, and I know they had to do a lot of work on Thursday night and into Friday morning, getting particularly the first twin stabilized medically. But I think that they've got everybody stabilized now. And so the first twin, I'm going to start using the names for them. The other thing is that we had in our match meeting a conversation about names, and the birth mother and the birth mother's mother seemed very flexible about, it's like, okay, they're going to be your kids, you name them whatever you want. And so we had floated some names by them, and some of them they liked better than others, so we made some accommodations to go with names that we had picked from our list, but that they liked. I don't think they remember that conversation at all, because now, particularly now that the birth father is involved, they have very strong preferences about what the names of the kids are going to be, and they really don't want us to change them at finalization. So we'll just see. I mean, the important thing is that the adoption completes successfully, and that we get to be the parents of the kids. Names are secondary, but we'll see how that plays out. I think that all the drama and trauma around the delivery and the NICU really have caused a lot of people associated with the birth family to develop attachments to the twins, and so I think it's going to be difficult for them to let go. So birth father really wanted to name one of the twins, the first twin, Layla, and then there was a general preference amongst other members of the birth family to name the other twin Emma. So I'm going to call him out for now. So Layla, the small twin, came out at 3 pounds 6 ounces, and what they think happened was that during the birthing process, that a lot of the blood that was in her kind of got, I guess for lack of a better term, squeezed out, either to the other twin or back into the birth mother through the placenta. So she was born very anemic, and as a result had a very low blood pressure, and they were concerned that there was even enough to circulate adequate oxygen and glucose to the brain and other parts of the body. And so they were concerned about brain damage and other things like that. So Layla got 2 transfusions of blood. They had her on a ventilator. She came off the ventilator on Friday. But she has a little nose thing for oxygenated blood now, and they did an EKG. The cardiac pediatrician did an EKG. Her heart's fine. They did, I think they did a CAT scan on her brain, and they did an ultrasound on her heart. Long story short, everything looks good. It looks like the blood transfusions and the ventilator and the other attention she got was really critical, and now she's stabilized. She's a little further behind her twin Emma in the sense of being able to take feeding, to be fed. So they have a tube that runs down either the nose or the mouth that goes to the stomach where they feed them, because they can't really bottle feed them until about 34 or 5 weeks, and we're right around 32 and a half, 33 weeks. So they cannot feed Layla that way yet. They're getting to that point. They had her on antibiotics and also, what else did they have her on? Oh, low blood pressure medication. So they've got to get her off the blood pressure medication, which is happening now, before they can feed her. So that's what's going on. I'm going to put some footage at the end of this post with both of them that we took on Friday, so you can see kind of what they look like and what they're doing and where they're at and all that good stuff. So that'll be at the end of the vlog here. What else did we do? My dad was there, so he got to meet a lot of the people associated with the birth mother and birth father's families. And then he took us to the rental place, and we got the car, and then we checked into the Ronald McDonald house. And we were so tired. We were just so tired. We did go out to like the co-op grocery store and had some dinner there and got some food for breakfast. Now they do have some food at Ronald McDonald's house, like canned goods and donated fruit and stuff like that. So that's really great. And I think Matt's cooking dinner right now out of some of those things, rice and beans and things. So thank you for all the people who donated food to the Ronald McDonald house. The last thing we want to have to do after a tough day like today is to go grocery shopping and have to cook from scratch everything. So that's what's going on there, and I can probably tell you more about Ronald McDonald's house later. Today, Saturday, we got up and went over to the birth mother's house, and the birth mother's still in the hospital. She's going home after she had dinner there tonight. And but we went over to the birth mother's house to pick up the birth mother's birth grandmother, because they don't have a car, and she didn't have a ride to the hospital. I thought we were going to need to take some stuff from the birth mother's house to the birth mother, like clothes and a cell phone charger, because the cell phone had died there. But she had already done that. The birth father had come over and to her house and got stuff and taken it to the hospital. But we just drove the mother of the birth mother to the hospital and saw the birth mother and went into the neonatal ICU and saw them and saw the twins, and they look great, and I'm like way over time, so I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. The twins look great, and we got to spend time with them. And the birth father came over later, and he was in there, and the birth mother was in there, and the birth grandmother was in there, and the mother of the birth father was there, and so we got to talk to everybody there. A lot of emotions going on right now with particularly the birth father and the mother of the birth mother about the adoption plan. I know that since the babies have been born, we've been expecting that, you kind of make the adoption plan as a birth parent, and then the babies are born, and you kind of have to make that decision again, because once you see the babies, particularly being in neonatal ICU and them kind of being in jeopardy, I think it really triggers the parental instincts here. So, they have to go through their process again, and I want them to have this process because I want, if they go through this adoption plan, I want them to be sure and to have the time to know that they're making the right decision. It's difficult for us to go through this process as well, because we are in the process of attaching to the twins too. We've invested a lot of time and money in this process, and we want it to complete successfully. But I want it to complete successfully with everybody on the birth parent side feeling like it's the right decision. And intellectually and rationally it is. There is no way, I don't think, that they could provide the attention and the financial resources and anything like that that two twin girls would need to have every opportunity in life. And I think that they know that on some level, but they're having a tough time with the emotional aspects of it. So I think, for Matt and I, we just need to be patient and just kind of take it one day at a time, but we also have to be careful and kind of protect ourselves through this process. So we'll see. I mean, that's, I guess, the drama, not big drama, but that's like the big thing going on right now. I think we've cleared the medical hurdles. I mean, it's still one day at a time there too, but I think that the adoption place is going through successfully. I think that's going to be the biggest question right now. That's the biggest question.